All right, guys, I think I can help you on your path to learning. Today, I'm going to talk about how to go with the flow when it comes to learning. Okay, so I've got my notebook here. Let's get into it. Anyways, many people think that learning is a step by step, rigid process. They think that if they just go look at one tutorial or one you'll see influencers or whatever selling like a course or something like that. If they look at like one course and follow each step exactly along the way, that they're going to get the result that they want when it comes to learning. This is just simply not how it works, okay? So, in reality, learning is more like a puzzle, okay? So, you engage with material, you engage with something, you do something when it comes to learning, and that's like a piece of a puzzle, right? And subconsciously, you're going to place that puzzle piece into your puzzle somewhere, right? Um, so, to make this more clear, it's like at the beginning when you're solving a puzzle, right? What do you solve first? Well, you solve pieces you have a little bit of context for. Those are like corner pieces, right? Or pieces on the side of the puzzle. These pieces are like beginner concepts, okay? So those edge pieces, those corner pieces are like beginner concepts you first learn whenever you start down your path with the skill, okay? So once again, if you just look at a tutorial video of a skill, you're not going to understand every single step of that tutorial right off the rip, right? You have to start with what's on the very edge. You have to start with the fundamental kind of foundations behind that skill, the building blocks of that skill, like the edge of the puzzle, right? Because you have no context. So if you get a piece of the puzzle that goes right in the middle, right? There's no way you're going to know where that goes until you've built up the edge of your puzzle, right? So it's just like that with learning. So there's no step-by-step rigid way to solve a puzzle. Like, think how inefficient it would be to solve a puzzle and you have to start in one specific spot and move your way all the way around that one specific spot and then build your way all the way around instead of just finding a piece. Oh, this is a corner piece, this is like blah blah blah, compiling your corner pieces, compiling your edge pieces, your basic foundational information, and then figuring out where those fit together and how that fits together, right? So a lot of people think you have to be so rigid, but you don't actually have to be that rigid when it comes to learning. You actually just need to engage with the material over and over again. And as you spot concepts and pieces of information that are down at your level, you're kind of storing those in your brain. And as you get enough of those going, you're going to start building that edge of your puzzle, right? And when you're building a puzzle, again, you don't start in one corner and just build up from there. You may start with one corner piece, but you may find another corner piece later, right? So before you connect those two pieces, maybe you put your corner pieces into your puzzle. And then you find a side piece and you don't see where it connects yet, but you store it for later, right? You're storing that information in your brain. Then when you have enough context, you'll either revisit it or then put it back into your puzzle. Okay? So basically, that's my kind of comparison to a puzzle, right? But it goes even deeper than that, right? So you don't have to do everything extremely systematically, right? You don't have to follow a course exactly. I'll give you a good example. I'm learning a software at my work right now that I have no experience with. And even though I've read the tutorial and I went through, the training material, it's not like I just automatically understood the software because of that, right? Going through that tutorial, going through that training material was a good first step, okay? But then after that, I actually have to try to use the software. I have to engage in information that's not just in the tutorial. After I've done that, I need to go back and watch the tutorial again, okay? It's not erratic, but it's going with the flow, right? You're not trying to learn things rigidly. You're just picking up pieces of information as you go and continuing to engage with the information and slowly build your puzzle over time. That's the key to actually learning, okay? Also, it's good to follow your motivation with whatever you're learning, right? If you're solving a puzzle and you're enjoying this particular spot, right? You don't have to stop and go to another spot immediately just because something told you to or a course told you to. If you're enjoying something, it's okay to, stick with that and explore that more. And then eventually, when you get bored of that portion or you can't move further at all, then you can go to another portion, right? There's no one way for you to learn your skill to completion, right? Everyone is going to have a different path. Everyone is going to enjoy different aspects of their skill at different times, okay? So following a course, following exactly what someone else told you to do is not necessarily going to be the best strategy for you when it comes to solving your puzzle or when it comes to learning your skill, right? So also keep this in mind. Some concepts in your skill, certain things about your skill are going to elude you until the very end, until you've almost got that very complete puzzle, right? There may be some very advanced concepts or concepts that just don't quite make sense unless you have a lot of context, right? Like the center, like a piece of a puzzle that belongs in the center, right? You're not going to know where that actually belongs until you've filled out a whole lot of your puzzle. So you're going to find that when it comes to learning anything, there are concepts like that. And anything that you learn, kind of higher level concepts that take a little more context to understand. You need a little more nuance to place them correctly into your puzzle. So don't worry if you encounter something like that. You don't have to try to fit it into your puzzle if you don't have enough context yet, okay? Let that context develop naturally over time, okay? And when you're at the level where you can engage with that and figure out where it goes, then engage with it and figure out where it goes. Now, it's fine to look at that. Like, if you're going through a puzzle, obviously you need to look at the puzzle piece. Oh, I don't know where this goes yet. Place it somewhere else, right? I don't know where this goes, but it looks like it's part of this part of my puzzle. So maybe I'll come back to that later when I'm learning this thing, But don't worry that you're going to miss out on that information. It's gonna come up again, okay? Whenever you're learning a skill and you're engaging and inputting in your skill, concepts are going to come up over and over and over again. So don't worry so hard about trying to collect everything all at once. Everything is going to pop back over and over. Like in a puzzle, you might not know where this piece goes right now, but later you're going to see it again. Maybe you still don't know where it goes. And then eventually, oh, finally, this piece, this is where it went, right? That's kind of how it works when it comes to learning. Anyways, on to the next thing. So yeah, that's that. I mean, I just looked at my notes and I pretty much covered everything I think I wanted to talk about in this video. And from my personal experience, I've always learned not erratically, okay, but I've always just gone with my motivation, filled out things, filled out that puzzle slowly as I move forward, okay, found concepts that I have enough context for to understand them and engaged with that material and slowly built up over time, slowly filled out the rest of my puzzle over time. When I think about other people I've known who have tried to learn things, a lot of times they try to learn very systematically, like I need to do this and then this and then this and then this, and then I'm going to be good at whatever it is. It's not actually how it works. It's really that long-term engagement, the slow build-up of learning fundamental concepts and gaining and building off of those concepts into newer and newer concepts until you filled out this whole kind of puzzle. That's how you're actually going to learn effectively. And my last question for you before I end this video is, if you want to build a puzzle, if you want to do something, learn a skill, are you actually interested in it? Okay, because it takes a long time, right, to put together this big, complicated puzzle. Is that result, is that outcome, are you actually deeply invested in that outcome? Are you actually enjoying putting the puzzle together, knowing it's going to lead to this thing? Because if you're not, then I recommend that you fill out a puzzle that you like. Find a skill that you actually enjoy. Find a skill that connects with you. Because that's going to be the number one thing when it comes to maintaining motivation and continuing to learn your skill. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will address your comment directly in a future video. Guys, have a great day. Thank you so much.